Okay, we're going to do our buyer run through, starting with the call, and then we'll move on to the Zoom meeting. This is going to be role play between myself and JD. Okay, you ready, JD?
Ready.
Okay. Hey, JD, this is Tim with the Ultimate Selling Team at Keller Williams Realty. I noticed that you had stopped by our website looking to get information on some homes in the area. What were you looking to get some information on specifically?
I was just on, I think it was Facebook or something, and I was scrolling. I saw a house or something, and I clicked it. I was just looking for more pictures and stuff.
Okay, well, tell me a little bit about the home that you'd like to buy.
So we're pretty far out. I'm probably, I would say anywhere, probably a little over a year out.
Okay.
I had just signed a lease recently, so it's me and my girlfriend. So we're just kind of getting the process started right now, just kind of looking around.
Okay, how long was the lease you signed for?
I think this one was for 6 months.
Okay, yeah, no problem at all. Don't worry about that at all. Most of our clients I speak with through the website are anywhere from 6 to 18 months out. And because that's where you're at, I'll just set you up on a search on autopilot, let it run without getting too involved. And you can always contact me later when you want something more.
Okay.
So what kind of homes were you looking for?
So I'm looking for a rancher style home.
Okay.
I would prefer something with 3 bedrooms. And I work in Frederick County, so I would like for it to be, I don't want in the city, but maybe like right outside the city limits.
Okay. Do you live in the area?
Yeah. That's where I currently rent at, is in Frederick.
Oh, okay. So you're renting now. Have you seen any homes that you like yet?
Oh yeah, I've been looking around. That's pretty much all I've been doing at all the different websites, and I'm getting a pretty good idea of what I'm looking for. So
Okay. So if you found a home that you like, what's your ideal time frame to move in?
like I said, probably about a year or so, because I know that my girlfriend and she was working on credit. She just got her credit to a pretty good spot. But however, we need to start saving more money for down payments and things like that. So that's kind of where we're at right now, just kind of saving the money, prepping.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, let me ask you real quick. If there was a way with your current scores that you have now, with the amount of money that you've already saved, if you didn't need to save any more, and if there was a way even to say, if your lease wasn't an issue, if you could kind of set that aside and just assume that that wasn't an issue, and you found a property that you absolutely loved, would you be willing to go take a look or possibly move forward in the process if that was the case?
Yeah. So, I mean, So I've talked to a lender already, and I have a pretty good idea for the price range, what, I would need to have down to get to the monthly payment that's going to fit into my budget.
Okay.
So I have an idea, but I mean, if you think that with my current money down that I could get within my monthly budget, then, I'm open.
Sure. And that's one of the things that we help out with also, is not just showing you properties or finding you properties and opening doors and everything, but it's with helping to guide you through the lending process itself. Whether you have a challenge with how much money to put down or whatever, there's all kinds of programs out there, whether it's no money down at all to all the way to, putting 20% down with some other special program and everything in between. We have a lease buyout program. So let's say you did find something you love tomorrow and you're like, oh no, I just signed this lease, I guess I have to wait and miss out on that house. You don't. I have a program for that. So any possible issue that you may have that you might think may get in the way of you moving into what you're really looking for, there's a good chance that I have some kind of solution for you that can help you with that. And I'll find out here in a minute. I'll ask you a few questions and everything and see what your needs are, and then see what we can do to help you with that. Now, not trying to push you forward any faster than you're ready. I want to move forward at a time frame that works for you. I just want to show you all of the options that are available, give you some good advice with it so that you and your girlfriend can make some good decisions on it. 9 times out of 10, though, once you start looking at properties and everything, you're going to find something that you absolutely love. And then you're going to want to know what are some solutions for you to be able to move forward with that without waiting. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so in order to get you one step closer to finding the perfect home, all we have to do is have a quick conversation with you and your girlfriend about your preferences, so that can help me and my team find the best properties for you. And based on that, based on your conversation and those preferences, we're going to do a deep search in the multiple listing service and through offline sources. And the immediate benefit to you is that you don't have to waste any more time or gas driving around looking at properties that don't quite fit what you're looking for, or ones that require a certain amount of money down or something like that. And what's even better for you is that you don't pay anything for our services. You don't pay any commissions for that. The sellers do. So all of the service and everything that I'm going to do for you is going to be free of charge to you. Isn't that great?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really sure how that worked because, like I said, this is my first time buying a home, so I didn't know how that worked, like with an agent or any of that. So
yeah, and it's one of the things I enjoy so much about what I do is where it can seem really overwhelming if you're online looking at houses and not real sure about how much money you're going to need, credit scores and all that stuff. So that kind of can stop a lot of people right in their tracks, and that can take a lot of the fun out of the process. So the way it'll work, because it is going to be you and your girlfriend, is that right?
yeah,
Okay.
yep,
So the next step would be for you and your girlfriend to jump on an online call with me. It's a new technology. It's really cool. It's kind of like Skype, but it's more for business. It's called Zoom. You guys would just jump on there with me. I'm going to walk you real quick through the buying process. And we're just going to kind of walk through what you can expect, how it works, how we find properties, how you're going to look for them, a little bit about the lending and appraisal process and all of those things, so that it can remove any anxiety you might have about the process, and you'll know exactly what to expect. It's going to cause you to be an expert buyer, so that you're going to be able to move through the process with confidence and very smoothly and quickly. And if anything does come up that's a challenge, you're already going to be expecting it and prepared. So it's just going to make it nice and easy for you. Also, when we jump on that call, I'm going to go a little deeper into your preferences and your girlfriend's, so that we're going to just do a quick search based on what you're looking for right there. I want to pull up some properties. And then I want to ask you some questions about those properties, not so that we can go look at those necessarily, but I want to really hone in on what your specific needs are, what hers are, and then somehow how we're going to kind of put those together to find some properties that are going to be, you're both going to be in agreement with. And I'll have you, and then I'll go do a deep search. We'll narrow that list down to about 10 properties or so. And then the two of you on your own can go through and figure out which are your top 5. And then we'll go see those first. That way we're taking you right to what you're looking for. And it makes the process really easy, and it's going to be really fun. You're going to enjoy it. And it'll be like we're on HGTV for a couple afternoons. How's that sound?
I mean, that doesn't sound bad at all. I'm kind of still stuck in my head on like what I'm going to do about the lease and how that works.
Okay. So I do have a program, and it depends how long the process takes too. You know, it may take you a few months to go find a property, right? So
Right.
let's say we take a couple months to find a property you like, and you want to put an offer in on it. We can then stretch out the actual offer itself, for the amount of time we're under contract for that, for up to 60 days on top of that. So right there, that may be a 4-month process before you closed on it. And then at that point, you may have one payment left on your lease. So it may not be an issue there. Or let's say we go through this process. I do a quick search for you when we get online. and you find something you absolutely love and you have to have right there on the spot. My team, and this is exclusive to us, I have a program where I'll do a lease buyout. And what that means is I'll take up to 25% of the commissions the seller would pay us on the buyer side and credit that to you towards buying out your lease. Most leases have a 60-day buyout in them, meaning a landlord generally will accept 2 months worth of payments to buy out your lease. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we have that program where we'll put 25% of the commissions towards that if it was necessary. A lot of times it's not necessary just based on the timeline, but it is there because I don't want you to be limited in your options and time frame. So that means if we find something tomorrow, you love it, you have to have it, that's no longer going to be an issue for you with your lease. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
How's that sound?
Sounds pretty good. Yeah.
Perfect. So the next step then is for us to kind of get on that call, and I want to go through some of those questions with you and your girlfriend at the same time, since she will be a decision maker, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. And it's nice and easy, and it's actually kind of a fun experience. We'll pull up some properties, and then I'll go through that with you. One thing I found is that when there are two different decision makers, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, a lot of times what comes out in that process is that we need to go find two different homes, one for her, one for you, because they tend to have different preferences and needs. And then when we do that together, that process, it'll allow the two of you to kind of get together after that, or even during that call, and figure out what are your common needs that you both have, so that we're looking for one house. We can kind of put those preferences together in a way that makes sense. That makes the process really, really simple, so that you both can get excited, and we can narrow that list down for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That makes sense. So
Yeah.
you said you've talked to a lender already too. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
How's your credit look? Any idea?
My credit's awesome. My girlfriend's 6 months ago was high fives. So
Okay.
now it's like low sixes. But the lender we talked about was telling us that, anything over, I think he said 620 or 630, that there wouldn't be an issue as long as I kept my score, good. So,
Okay. And if there were any issues that popped up too, we do have other lenders that are available also if that one couldn't do it or whatever. And there are different programs available also to help get that score up if you needed it. Let's say it came in lower again. That happens sometimes. It's no problem. We just kind of run through a process with you with the lender where they'll tell you if you need to pay something off, if there's an open collection that needs to be paid, if you need to pay down a credit card or
that's what my guy did. He gave me like a list of homework assignments. And so we just like finished those up like 2 months ago. So
yeah. So even if there is, it's no problem. It just is a matter of, okay, what do we need to do to solve that real quick and then move forward?
Yeah.
So let me ask you if her credit or yours, if there was a problem. So are there any late payments, any mortgage payments, or I guess you don't own any?
Just no late payments or anything. She just had
any late payments in the last 12 months, say on your car or credit cards, anything like that?
I know for a fact not mine. I think my girlfriend had a few, but that was one of the things that she had to take care of in the last couple months. Yeah.
Any bankruptcies or foreclosures or anything in the last 3 years?
No bankruptcies. No, I've never actually, this will be my first time purchasing a home. So
no open collections or anything?
No.
Okay, cool. Based on that, it sounds like you'll be all right. And I only asked that just so if you said yes to any of that kind of stuff, then we start thinking, okay, there are solutions to that too. Whether it's your lender or whatever, that stuff's easy to overcome. It's a matter of, okay, which thing do we need to do to bypass that? Now is a great time to buy. So I'm glad that you guys got all of that taken care of when you did now, because it's such a good time to get in the market. And I'm here to help you do that, help you do it in the easiest way possible. And then when you do find the home you absolutely love, then I'm here to help negotiate a great deal for you too.
I have a question because it always seems like, and I'm not saying anything about you or anything, but it always seems like it's like the right time to buy. It's always now. It's always now. So like, if it is really the best time to buy right now, why is it the best time to buy right now?
Well, two different reasons. One, right now you're renting, right?
Yeah.
And you're paying off, you're paying that landlord's mortgage every month, right?
Yeah.
So it's probably a great time for him to buy before he rented it out to you and you're paying down the mortgage.
That's
So
true.
let's say you being in the market itself is better than renting, right? Because now you're in the market, you're in a property. That properties generally are going to go up in value. Sometimes they go up and down, like the crash that we had 11 years ago. Property values went down for a little while, but then they came back up.
Yeah.
And in the fullness of time, you being in that property, gaining on appreciation, the payments you're sending in are paying down the amount you owe. You're building equity just by being in the house and living, which is what you need to do anywhere. Right where you're at, you're doing that. Only the landlord's benefiting from it. So it's good for you to get in the property right now too. Property values were going up at a very fast pace over the last 3 years. They've slowed the rate of growth down a little bit now, so it's flattened out a little bit for the last 9 months or so, which is good for you because then you can jump into this property without having to chase the market up before you get in there. So it's kind of like the car slowed down a little bit, so enough for you to jump in the car before it takes off again.
I got you. Yeah.
So
Cool.
that's why I say it's a good time because it's kind of flat right now.
Yeah.
So you're not worried about
it. It seems a little expensive. It seems like in comparison to years past, it seems pretty expensive.
Well, we are in the DC metro market right here. So there are a lot of people that are constantly moving in, the military installations, the federal government. So there's always people moving into the area that creates an upward pressure in the market, which is good for you once you buy.
Right.
And you start building equity. The longer you're on the sidelines, though, the more expensive it gets to get in, right?
Yeah.
So that's why, even though you were thinking you're going to be waiting 6 months, if there's a way you can do it before that, that's good for you also, though, as that upward pressure in price goes up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And then we'll work it out, make sure your payment's all good and all that kind of stuff. So the next step is for us to get on that the video call.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go through with you and your girlfriend the various steps and what to expect in this process. And I'm going to ask you a few more questions, and we're going to pull up some houses real quick just so I can compare your needs to hers and see if we can find a common thread there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It'll be fun too. And then you may find something that you absolutely love. And we're going to be using the MLS system, which only realtors have access to. So it's a little bit more robust. And there are a few more features on there so we can find things that you may not otherwise have been able to see on Zillow or one of those other systems.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What is a good time that you'll both most likely be available?
She works all week until 6. But I think Thursday at like 6:30, would that work?
Thursday at 6:30. Yeah. And what I'm going to do then, I'm going to just send you my calendar link real quick with a few options on there so that if you do speak to her and maybe that doesn't work or whatever, you can pick whatever time works for both of you. And also will allow you to change that. If something comes up and you need to move the time, you can just reschedule it right on there. Okay. Nice and easy for you. And it'll also send you the link to the video room we're going to be in.
Okay.
Right there in the calendar. So I'm just going to send that to you as soon as we get off the phone. I'm really glad that we talked. I'm really excited about your search and getting you the best value possible, finding you that rancher, and I can't wait to see your smile when I hand you the keys.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. I thought I was super far out, so it's nice to know that there's other options. I mean, I'm still leery, but I believe it when I see it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, awesome. Well, that's what I do. That's what
awesome.
I do.
Awesome, man.
So I will see you Thursday at 6:00 on our video call, and send you the link again, and then we'll go through your questionnaire. Sound like a plan?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Good. Again, my name's Tim, and I'll be your agent. I'll be here to help you. And again, the great thing, you don't have to pay for any of that. So
what's your last name, Tim? I'm going to save you in my phone.
Brooks.
Tim Brooks. All right.
Yep.
Make sure I save it so I don't think you're spam.
And if any questions come up in the meantime, don't hesitate to call me, text me, whatever you want to do. If you do find some other kind of property that comes up also that you want more information about, I can get you information on any property that's on the market.
Yeah, because I'm always seeing stuff. I belong to Zillow, Trulia, all that stuff, and I'm always getting emails.
Yeah, I have access to every one of those properties on there. So any property that we want to go see or need information or whatever, I'm here to get you access to that and
Okay.
represent you in the process.
Cool. Perfect.
All right. So I'll see you Thursday at 6.
Sounds good.
All right, buddy. Bye.
Yeah.